George Mason High School Spring Choral Concert. Tonight we will hear many voices, the voices of places and times that welcome us, encourage us, challenge us, and push us to look past our own experiences and to see with different eyes in the power of music. All of these voices come together across time and space and blend with ours as we sing with one voice.
gourd, for the old man is waiting to carry you to freedom. Dead trees will show the way, follow the drinking gourd. Sometimes these were the only directions given to slaves searching for the Underground Railroad and a path to freedom, and the only way these directions could be given was through song. John Horman's setting of these words in canon and imitation represents the plea and the urgency. When you are lost in the dark, look to the stars for the Big Dipper, the drinking gourd.
Setting of Adoramus Te by Palestrina represents an important moment in music history. As you will hear later, Palestrina was known as the master of Renaissance polyphony, so the setting stands in stark contrast. This beautiful homophonic setting is intentional to bring focus to the importance and intensity of the text. We adore you, O God, and we bless you.
shows the beauty and purity of two Eastern traditions, hypochordity and pentatonic scales. We want to thank Jack Shimizu for giving us a word-for-word translation that strengthened our understanding and performance of this piece. We hope you enjoy the constantly shifting balance between peace and restlessness. Peace and Katana.
Isakata no no, Isakata no no, Isakata no, Isakata no no, Isakata no, Isakata no no, Isakata no no, Isakata no no, Isakata no
Alice Parker was born in 1925 and spent most of her life contributing to the American choral tradition. She has published several books on choral and vocal technique and has written and arranged hundreds of American hymns, folk songs, and spirituals. Hark I Hear the Harp's Eternal is from the 18th century shaped note tradition of singing hymns using different shapes to indicate pitch. The strong harmonic cadences in this hymn make it a congregational favorite and is standard in the American hymn tradition. Hark I Hear the Harp's Eternal.
Hark I hear the harp's eternal ringing on the farther shore, as I near those swollen waters with their deep and solemn roar. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
As mentioned earlier, Palestrina is known for its polyphonic settings of sacred text. Sequence service is a quintessential example of Renaissance polyphony. Each voice is independent and clear, and amidst the strong text declamation, there is beautiful word painting. You can hear the fountains of water and the strong pull of the desire of the soul in the use of beautiful melodic lines and melismas.
While Palestrina exemplified the polyphony of the Renaissance, Tallis showed the shift towards simplification and homophony found in the Reformation. There are still moments of polyphonic counterpoint, but each statement begins and ends with strong cadences and text alignment. The text is clearly more important than the melody here, and the statements are shorter. So this is a piece that I chose, and we've had a little bit of trouble with it, so we're going to be using our music and consider it a work in progress.
Sanctus,
Moses Hogan brought to life a new voice in his arrangements of spirituals. There is a power and strength, a depth that had not been explored by others in their efforts to interpret this complicated genre. In Elijah Rock, you hear the driving pulse that is grounded in a strong foundation, a rock, a plea for what could be, and the desperate frenzy, all driving towards freedom.
Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Come on, sister, help me to pray. Tell me my Lord done passed his way. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Come in the glory. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Come in the glory. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Come in the glory. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Come in the Satan ain't nothing but a snake in the grass. He's a conjurer, a liar. Hallelujah, Lord. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Come in the glory. Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. Elijah Rock. Come in the If I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses stood. If I could, I surely would stand on the rock where Moses
Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock. Elijah Rock.
Hallelujah, Jesus. 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 Oh, Elijah. Oh, Elijah Rock. Oh, Elijah Rock. Elijah. I'm coming.
Okay, well, hello everyone. This is the Mason Acapella Club. I am Emily Ives. And I'm Abby McFall. And we are the leaders of the Acapella Club. Today we are singing Man in the Mirror and Under Pressure, starting off with Man in the Mirror. We hope you enjoy.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. Gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right. As I turn up and go wrong, I feel room to go. The wind is blowing up. See the kids in the street, not enough to eat. The
dum 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 digga dum dum.
Bum bum da 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 day. Ba da 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 day. Pressure pushing down on me, pushing down on you. No man has born under pressure that burns a building down, splits a family in two. Let's go on streets. Bum ba da da day. Bum ba da da day. It's the terror of knowing what this world is about. Watching some good friends let me out, but tomorrow gets me higher. Pressure people on the streets.
Under pressure. Under pressure. Under pressure.
Okay.
Under pressure.
Jibbing around, kick my brains across the floor. The days and the nights, but it pours. People on streets. People on streets. It's the terror of knowing what this world is about. Watching some good friends scream, let me out. But tomorrow gets me higher. Pressure on people on the streets.
Turned away from it all like a blind man. Sat on a fence, but it don't work. Keep coming up with love, but it's so slashed and torn. Why?
Under pressure, but cracking, can't we give ourselves one more chance? Why can't we give love that one more chance? Why can't we give love, 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 give love? 'Cause love's such an old-fashioned word, and love dares you to care for the people on the edge of the night, and love dares you to change our way of caring about ourselves. This is our last dance. This is ourselves under pressure.
Dum digga dum dum. Dum 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 digga dum dum.
Under pressure,
Dum digga dum dum. Dum 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 digga dum dum.
pressure.
Throughout tonight's concert, you may wonder, how did this song end up on the program? Well, here's your answer. The majority of the pieces on the first half of the concert were for our assessment in the spring, and the second half was mostly selected by our seniors. Scales and Arpeggios is a particularly appropriate song for our concert and allows us to practice our Kerwin hand signals.
Every truly cultured music student knows you must sing your scales and your arpeggios. Bring the music ringing from your chest and out your nose while you sing your scales and your arpeggios. So
Hamilton has become an international phenomenon. For some, it's a poignant song toward the end of the first act. For others, it's a beautiful promise from a parent to a child. For others, it is the song from the Students' March last spring. If you've never heard it before, we hope you hear the promise of hope and our commitment to make the future a better time and a better place.
Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have your eyes, you have your mother's name. You came into the world, you cried, and it broke my heart. I'm dedicating every day to you. Domestic life was never quite my style. When you smile, you knock me out, I fall apart, and I thought I was so smart.
You will come of age with our young nation. We'll lead and fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you. You'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Oh, Philip, when you smile, I am undone. My son, look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. There is so much more inside me now. Oh, Philip, you outshine the morning sun. My son, when you smile,
I fall apart, and I thought I was so smart.
my father wasn't around.
My father wasn't around.
I swear that I'll be around for you. I'll do whatever it takes.
I'll make a million mistakes.
I'll make the world safe and sound for you. It will come of age with our young nation. We'll make it fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you. You'll blow us all away. Someday, someday.
Yeah, you'll blow us all away.
Someday, someday.
The Greatest Showman is a great story. The movie isn't based on a lot of truth, but it is a strong statement that there is nothing to be ashamed of, and that we all deserve to stand in the light and live our lives as best selves. We thank Kiera Thies for her choreography in bringing this number to life. Come along.
Stumble through your days, got your head held low.
Skies a shade of gray.
But zombie in the place, you're asleep inside. You can't shake away. Is it just a dead man
Long before the Blues Brothers, Aretha Franklin wrote and released Think when she was 26 years old, and it was on her 13th album. The Queen of Soul left behind a legacy in music. She was an activist for civil rights, women's rights, and Native American rights. She wrote songs, performed at benefits, spoke out, and wrote checks for schools, education, lost wages, and hospital bills. She lived a hard life and faced numerous challenges. Her strength and fortitude continue to serve as an inspiration. And this song reminds us to stop and think. Think about how our words and actions affect those around us.
Think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think. Let's try to let yourself be free. Let's go back, let's go back, let's go way on back when I didn't even know you. Could have been too much more than 10. I ain't no psychiatrist, ain't no doctor with degrees. It don't take too much IQ to see what you do to me. Yeah, think. Think about what you're trying to do to me. Yeah, think. Let your mind go, let yourself be free. Oh, freedom, 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 freedom. Oh, freedom, 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 freedom. Oh, freedom. There ain't nothing you could ask, I could empty you, but I won't. I was gonna change, but I'm not. Keep the things I don't. You know, hey. Think about what you're trying to do to me. What you're trying to do to me. Think. Let your mind go, let yourself be free. People walk around every day playing games to take control. Just trying to make other people lose their minds, but be careful, don't lose yours. Hey. Freedom, 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 freedom. Oh, freedom, 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 freedom. Oh, freedom. Think about it, think about it, think about it. There ain't nothing you
was first recorded in 1971 and has been covered by numerous musicians. For some of our parents, this is the baby song from Ally McBeal, and for some of us, it's from Guardians of the Galaxy. But for all of us, it's a lot of fun.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me. When you hold me in your arms so tight and go, everything's alright. What kind of feeling? That you're in love with me. Bum, bum, it's as sweet as candy. Bum, bum, it tastes on my mind. Bum, bum, you got me thirsty for another cup of wine. Bum, bum, got a bug from you, girl. Bum, but I don't need no cure. Bum, bum, I'll just stay and make love. Bum, if I can for sure, for sure. Yeah, you turn me on. What kind of feeling? I'm not that you're in love with me. Bum, bum, all the good when you're all alone, keep it up, girl. Yeah, you turn me on, you turn me on. Hooked on a feeling. I'm that you're in love with me. That you're in love with me. In love with me.
Another Day of Sun is the opening number in the 2016 movie musical La La Land. It's about waking up and chasing your dreams even if they let you down, because it's another day of sun.
I think about that day I left him at a Greyhound station west of Santa Fe. We were 17, but he was sweet and it was true. Still, I did what I had to do, 'cause I just knew. Summer Sunday nights, we'd sink into our seats right as they dimmed out all the lights. A technicolor world made out of music and machine. It called me to beyond that screen and live inside each scene.
Without a nickel to my name, hopped a bus, here I came.
Once, based on the film by the same name. In this musical, the unnamed male lead, referred to as Guy, writes a song for a young woman, Girl, and as a romance develops between the two, the song lands Guy's band a record deal. The a cappella reprise of Gold is sung by the band as they await news of their album. The album is ultimately successful and the song becomes a hit, but sadly, it doesn't bring a happy ending for Guy and Girl.
I'm going to break script. The lovely Senora Planas is here to introduce our last piece. And if you don't know, this is her last year with us. She's headed off to sunny Spain next fall. That's my first, and I'm so glad she's here with us tonight. Now, there's going to be some really cute and slightly distracting images on that screen. I hope that amidst all of that, you can also hear the beautiful singing that happens underneath. The setting of Sarah Teasdale's poem is quickly becoming a favorite for choruses and choirs around the world. This poignant text is particularly appropriate tonight as we look towards graduation. Here is Sarah Teasdale's Only in Sleep. The lyrics are, only in sleep I see their faces, children I played with when I was a child. Louise comes back with her brown hair braided, Annie with ringlets warm and wild. Only in sleep, time is forgotten. What may have come to them? Who can know? Yet we played last night as long ago, and the dollhouse stood at the turn of the stair. The years had not sharpened their smooth, round faces. I met their eyes and found them mild. Do they too dream of me, I wonder? And for them, am I too a child?
India produces more movies per year than any other country in the world. Almost all of these movies include 6 to 8 pieces of music, and the most popular music in India is written for use in films. The songs don't necessarily have anything to do with the plot, but they are essential to the style of the movies. Jai Ho was written for Slumdog Millionaire, and although it is a British film, the director Tony Boyle asked A.R. Rahman to write a song for the final credits to honor the Indian film tradition. Jai Ho is considered a victory dance. Come, dance with me.
Joy!
many rehearsals. Some have had 2, some have had 1, and some of them are exercising their sight reading skills.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side.
Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle wide.
Draw the circle wide. No one stands alone, we'll stand side by side. Draw the circle wide. Draw the circle
exciting night. This is the most singers I've had on this stage yet so far, so I am so excited. And I hope that our community sing will be something that continues at future concerts. And I hope that all of these lovely people will be joined by even more of you. I want to thank our wonderful administration here at George Mason and our superintendent, Dr. Peter Noonan, who joined us even on the stage. Dr. Noonan and our administration have kept up on their promise that choral music is essential for students. And for this first year in over 20 years, we had choir during the school day. And that is a big step, and we are so pleased. Thank you so much for your support. Now this is the part in the evening where I'm going to present some awards, and I'm going to say some thank yous. So I'm going to invite our community members to return to their seats. I'm going to ask my choir members to just kind of sit where they are. And if you were here for the beautiful concert, but you weren't here for awards, I understand that. I made notes so I wouldn't forget. Okay, did that? Yes? Okay. I would like to give a shout out to our wonderful sound crew, Miss Callie Russell and Miss Anna Karen. Thank you for coming around the stage. Okay, I'm organized. I plan. Okay, so the first word I'd like to give tonight was presented last week at the award ceremony, so it's not a secret. So I would like to take a moment to recognize Michael Torres. Remember exactly when we had the conversation about him taking 2 choirs this year, but his response was, wait, I can do that? And I said, yes. He had room in his schedule, so he gladly signed up for 2 choirs, and that has been a gift to both of those ensembles. He's a strong leader, and although he always tries out for solos, he truly understands what it means to be part of an ensemble. He may be a bit of a goof in rehearsals, but he takes his music very seriously. He often comes in during Mustang block or stops by during a free period for a little help with a part. He doesn't usually need help singing it correctly, but he wants to make sure he's using his best technique and supporting his ensembles to the best of his ability. Michael rarely misses concert choir, and although he's had a couple tardy streaks for chamber, not that he's alone in that, he always walks in singing, even if his eyes are closed from a late night at work. Michael is the kind of singer every director wants in their choir, and I know he will always find his place in ensembles. That is why the 2019 National School Choral Award is awarded to Michael Torres. Rising Star Awards. And I'll just say this young lady shines. She was shy and quiet at first, and she still gets really nervous up here, but she's doing some amazing things. She has a beautiful instrument, but more, she has a beautiful heart. And she shines as soon as she is within eyesight, and certainly when she sings, the wattage just goes up. This young lady is already a leader in concert choir and is going to be a leader in this department, Miss Eleanor Geiser. Someday I'm going to spell her last name correctly. And this one too always has a smile, and he sings with his full voice and his full heart, and he always says thank you before he goes on to the rest of his day. He sees the work of his peers and classmates, and he appreciates it. And he's a strong leader in his section, and if he isn't getting a part right, I know it right away, and he's quick to fix it. And I am excited to see and to hear him grow, and that is Sam Mostel. Yes, he is a proud Frenner. So what is it going to be next year? Softeners? All right, so this young lady doesn't say much, and that's not just because class started at 7. She's usually a little tired when she walks in, so when she does share an idea, I get excited because it's always something she's thought about, and it's almost always a really, really good one. When we talked about goals for the year, she shared her personal goals, but all of those goals also tied into success for the ensemble. She listens, both when people are talking and when they're singing, and she supports. She never looks for credit, and she just gets it done. So our first Unsung Hero Award tonight goes to Miss Courtney Waddles. So our next Unsung Hero is one I didn't know before this year, and it's really been a pleasure to get to know her. She has very strong opinions, but she's always kind and constructive with them. You can kind of see her process her thoughts that way. She doesn't always agree with her classmates on repertoire or perspective, but she respects them and she supports them. She listens, and she always asks really good questions. She always asks the thing that everybody else thinks everybody else knows, but nobody really does. She always asks that question. She's a strong member of our soprano section and concert choir, and I will miss her very much next year. That is Miss Kat Cooper. So leadership awards. We have some really strong and independent students, and what's beautiful to see is, as strong as they are and as independent as they are, they never walk by themselves. This student was a total surprise, and man, such a good one. She has very high expectations for herself and everyone around her, but you only know that through her actions, never an unkind word or a diminishing comment. She's always early for class, and no matter what I ask of her, she says, let's do it, and then she does it. She works hard and she leads by example. She has a strong instrument and she's such a smart musician. She's always willing to help another student with a music question, even when it isn't about choir. She's a leader and I can't wait to see where she goes, and that is Miss Sigrid Edson. Both of our leaders are surprises for me. So I knew from her first solo audition that she was going to be a force within our concert choir. She is passionate about music, especially musical theater, and she is all in. All voice, all body, all heart. She loves to perform, and although she's sung solos throughout the year, she also takes great joy in the ensemble. She is the kind of students that other students gravitate to. They like to just be near her, and that is Miss Ariel Gleesman-Lovato. Okay, Senior Chorus Awards. So this young woman has grown so much in the past 2 years. She has so much talent, and she's still figuring out how music figures in her future plans. But I'm sure that it will always be a part of her life. She wants to do all the things, and she's passionate about so many of them, and I know she's going to continue to inspire with her actions and her voice. And that is Miss Claire Doss. Ironic. Okay, so our last Senior Chorus Award. This young man just has so very many talents and so many skills on and off the stage, and he is passionate about choral music among a million other things. He works so hard at all of the things, all of the time, and somehow carves out time to just be magnificent at them. And it's one thing to get up and sing the solo and to be the star, but the joy that he feels as part of that ensemble shines right through him. He makes that foundation, he is part of that sound, And I think that's something that's going to be with him for his whole life, and that's Mr. Miles Jackson. We all know. Okay, give me just a moment to pass out these gifts to my graduating seniors, and then we'll be almost done.
We have something for you. You're going to be the band concert, so it's not a surprise. I love it, that's so sick. Thank you guys so much. This is not everyone's deal. Okay, I'm going to put it right here. Yes.
This is a poster from Nashville that we had signed by members of the choir to give to seniors to give to our
Okay. So, these kids have a big impact on my life. I spend a lot of time with them. And I spend a lot of time just watching them because they do so many things. Look at these seniors. They are just all over this school in a million different ways. And they're always looking for that next step, doing that next thing. And sometimes they are incredibly hard on themselves. They look at what the other person did or what they thought they could do, and they keep reaching, and they keep going. And sometimes that is a joy to watch, and sometimes it's hard. So I hope that they remember how gifted and wonderful they are, and how much they are loved for all of their strengths and their weaknesses.